neighborhood in shock. Why police just arrested a fire captain for murder more than 2 months after his wife's death. Plus, Salem Kaiser schools are considering metal detectors at its middle and high schools. What prompted district leaders to look at this plan? But first, let's check in with Daisy Caballero for a quick look at the forecast. Hey, Daisy.
Hey, good morning, Deidre, and happy Saturday, everyone. Taking you to our satellite and radar this morning because things are starting to settle in as we're welcoming a brand new system, bringing us some light showers this morning for parts of the coast and also already for parts of the gorge as well. But for us here in the Rose City, we are dealing with this. We're dealing with some dense fog, pockets of dense fog up and down the I-5 corridor as well. It is currently 46 degrees. Last check out at PDX. The rest of our current temperatures, a pretty mild morning, may I say. Many of us are in the 40s, 43 for Beaverton, also for Tiger, 44 for West Lynn. Really the only other areas that are in the 30s is Aurora at 39, and then also 40 degrees just warmed up for Estacada this morning. Now a little bit later, right about noon, we will be warming up into those low 50s to upper 40s, and then by 5 o'clock, 4:30, right about there, we will be seeing the peak temperatures for today, 56 for Portland. And while yes, it is raining and going to stick around for these next few days, there are a few dry days coming up. We'll talk about when that's happening coming up in my full forecast.
All right, thanks so much, Daisy. Well, a local fire captain now stands accused of murder more than 2 months after his wife's death. That captain is with the Camas-Washougal Fire Department. He called 911 when his wife was in trouble, but now detectives say his story doesn't add up. Ashley Grams has more.
On January 8th, at this home in Washougal, police say Kevin West called 911. He's a fire battalion chief for the Camas-Washougal Fire Department in Southwest Washington. West said his wife was having a seizure and had stopped breathing.
I was just watching everything unfold and ended up finding out that Marcy had passed, and that was very sad to hear.
Tabitha Schaefer lives next door and heard West's wife, Marcy, had passed away on January 8th.
They're very neighborly, a lovely family.
But soon law enforcement was back at the house.
Undercover police in his driveway and bringing out items, I would assume, as evidence.
Krista Paris lives further down the street. She saw the officers coming and going. The Clark County Sheriff's Office says they took over the investigation, and several people said they were concerned about the couple's relationship and worried Marcy's death wasn't a seizure at all. Then in March, the medical examiner determined Marcy died from asphyxia and trauma to her neck.
Yeah, you're kind of just in shock. Like, is it really happening? Is this really happening? Especially in, Washougal, our neighborhood. It's quiet. It's nice.
West is now charged with first-degree murder and is scheduled to be in court Monday. The city says he's worked there for 22 years. Here in Portland, a man has been arrested for murder and is accused of attacking someone on the East Bank Esplanade. It happened early Friday morning under the Hawthorne Bridge. Police identified the suspect as 29-year-old Abel Nistor. Investigators say bystanders tried to intervene during the assault, including firefighters nearby. The victim has not been identified. Teachers in the Salem Kaiser district have voted to authorize a strike if their union can't reach a deal with the school district. This follows about 10 months of negotiations with the union and district declaring an impasse last month. The biggest issues include class sizes and teacher workloads. The district is currently facing a $30 million budget shortfall. Teachers could strike the first week of April. And meantime, the Salem Kaiser district is considering adding metal detectors to middle and high schools. The district invited students to test out the metal detectors at Stevens Middle School on Friday. District leaders have thought about adding a weapon detection system to schools since last fall. They plan to introduce the detectors this spring or fall, but decided to make the move sooner after a South Salem high school student was shot and killed near a school. The superintendent says the community has experienced a significant increase in gun violence in recent years.
Firearm-related incidents are increasing across the whole city. They're increasing across age groups. And this isn't something that is catching us off guard, not as a city and not as a school district.
The detectors would cost about $800,000. Funding would come from a restricted fund that can't be used for staffing.